How's it going, everyone? Welcome to D&D News. I'm Greg Tito, your friendly neighborhood dungeon master, here to sip some coffee and talk to you about all of the things that are happening. Sorry you got on a little bit late. I was sending electronic mails via my lightning-powered sending stone device up until 2:59, and then I was like, oh god, I gotta get on the live stream and talk about this stuff. Hi, and now I'm here. You guys are the best. I'm so excited you're here. We got Ref Gemlin, my friend who made me laugh, 2 weeks ago now at this point? Hanselman, how are you? Good to see you. I got your electronic mail on my sending device, and I will make sure to send a note when I can. Sorry to hear about all that, but I love it, and I'm happy to support. And I got a haircut. Yeah, someone else mentioned that. I got the haircuts. I went to a new place to get a haircut, and they did some things that I'm not really, I don't know, it's weird. They actually cut in on the sides here. Has that ever happened to you, people of the earth? I don't know. It's something that was new to me, but I let them go with it because I was like, sure, go for it. Let's see. Make me look, boxy and wonderful. I'm happy to be here. And I'm happy to be here with you guys. We are getting excited for Dice Camera Action, episode 184. Oh no, wait, what did I just do? I really just screwed up my computer. Oh my gosh. No, I didn't. Okay. I was doing this thing, scrolling on my computer, and then I pulled up the status bar with all the icons down on the bottom. Whoosh! That changed a lot. But luckily, I got it fixed. Don't worry. We are without Pelham today because he is not feeling very well. So a little bit flying by the seat of our pants and our magic carpet ride. We're going to make it happen. I don't have the exact... Oh, no, it is 1:39. And we have a special guest. All the Waffle Crew will be here. But Amy T. Falcone will be here as Walnut Dankgrass. So that should be awesome. You should be... excited to see it. It will be occurring in 50 minutes, if you can believe it. 5-0. It's going to be a thing. I don't know how everything is still running, Ref Gemlin. That's very, very sad. I don't know, but it is barely holding on as we're flying through the air on the trapeze and all that fun stuff. I don't get to wear this shirt too often, but it is very Easter themed, so I want to make sure I had on something with pastels for the holidays, the high holy days. Yeah, this is, I think I mentioned this a couple times, we made a whole bunch of t-shirts as prototype to see what kind of color combinations we wanted to add to our roster. This was not one of the ones that we picked, but there was a sample, so I took it, and I enjoy it. So it is very springy. As is so much of Dungeons & Dragons. Very springy. Bring, it springs. Excellent. So, yes, Pelor is back. We have the sun. It is occurring again. I enjoy it. Oh, and it is Earth Day today. So happy Earth Day to all of you out there on the planet of Earth, not on the planet of Akir. Wait, no. What's the planet that's Faerun is on? It's like a beer. A beer. There you go. We're on that planet now, too. Hello, everyone, and the planet, says Teos. Hi, Alpha Stream. How are you doing? So, we wanted to talk about what's going on in the news for Dungeons & Dragons. There is a whole bunch, but I like to start with some fun things that are happening in the world. And so I wanted to show you this because it's one of the biggest stories in a while. Yes, D&D. Wait, is it showing? Can you guys see that? I don't know if that's showing correctly. Can you guys see that? Can you guys see the Washington Post thing? I think that's on the program. Okay, good. Yes. Phew, that was close. There's no Pelham here, so everything's very different, and I don't understand. But you can check it out. It says, D&D is back. It is cool now, sort of, and legions are into it, including an unprecedented number of adult and female players. It's the ultimate sign that nerd culture is now mainstream. My only beef with this article, because it was pretty amazing. I love the shot of Girls Guts Glory there. They are fantastic. Can't wait to see them in Los Angeles when we do D&D live. But it says how Dungeons and Dragons somehow became more popular than ever. I take umbrage with that because we all know why it is as popular as it is now. It's because of people like you making it awesome for everyone and showing off the breadth and benefits you get from playing this game. Not only do you get the camaraderie of being with your friends and creating a story together, but you get empathy by understanding how to be in another person's shoes. You learn how to tell stories together, but also what you learn from those stories. The cathedral-like different disciplines that you have to master to be, or you don't have to master, but you may choose to master because it is a game and it is fun. Map making, drawing, artwork, painting, mathematics, arithmetic, random, the understanding of probability and statistics, how to make a badass character on D&D Beyond, all those things that you learned by playing Dungeons and Dragons, and I know exactly how. It's not somehow. I know how. But it was still very good to see that in the Washington Post. Hope you guys were able to check it out and share that with perhaps your non-gaming friends. Always a fun thing to do is to be like, hey, look, we're in the WAPO. That's what the kids are calling the Washington Post nowadays. I don't know if you know that, but it's on fleek. What's up, fellow kids? Anyway, here's another story that I think is really fun. This was a review of the Stranger Things starter set from our friends at Polygon. It is a pretty great review. Check it out if you hadn't, and if you had any questions about what is in that wonderful set. The real treasure here is the adventure itself. It's extremely light on lore, but focuses on getting players out in the field and exploring for clues. Guidance for the DM is delightfully open-ended. I think that's fantastic, and I agree that is one of the best parts about definitely for D&D or entrenched D&D fans. They are going to really enjoy that aspect of the starter set, but I think there are even more folks out there who may love that series and want to jump into D&D and didn't know what the best kind of introduction might be, and this starter set fulfills that need. So I'm excited. Hope more people is out there if it can be. Wait, hold on. Now I have to see. What did I do that was wrong? Oh, I mean, she's just saying that I'm saying what up, fellow kids. Here I was throwing shade against trucker hats and other things last week, and here I am thinking I'm talking all positively, but nope. Getting it all out there. Another fun thing I want to make sure everyone knew about was this article from Bleeding Cool, talking about a wonderful game out there, Dungeon Mayhem. We've talked about it a bunch over the last 6 months, but it is one of the best, or this is what the review says. This is not me. I'm just quoting. This is one of the best short games Wizards of the Coast has made in a while, and every time you end, there's usually an immediate cry to play again and try out a new character. I can't underline that enough. That is my experience with Dungeon Mayhem, and people have been clamoring for more character classes. We only had 4, and not even the quote unquote core classes, but Paladin, Barbarian, Wizard, and Rogue. Not necessarily the first 4 that you think you would jump to in a game like that, but you can play. For those of you who don't know Dungeon Mayhem, you can play as one of those characters. You have your own little deck of cards, and you can play those cards out. And the first to, or the last to survive, everyone's got 10 hit points. The last to survive is the winner, and it plays really fast. The iconography on the cards make it really simple to play. You don't really need to read. You can just kind of look at the symbols and see what they do, but it's great for strategy and great for little short bursts of gameplay that are super evocative. The art is wonderful by Kyle Farron, and the design just is top notch. So hope other families and friends pick that up and play it more, and maybe we'll see, I don't know, some more classes be joined to those 4 that were in the first package. Hard to say how easy that is to expand. I gotta ask Shelly Mazzadoble. She's the brand manager behind leading the charge on Dungeon Mayhem. So I don't know, maybe she's got something up her sleeve. Maybe that's why she's been on vacation these last 3 weeks, as she's been crazily playtesting Dungeon Mayhem across the world. Let's go with that. I think that sounds like a plan. That's very cool. Another fun thing to check out is something that we've been talking about all over town, but wanted to make sure you saw it. Here is this great article in the Forbes, or the online version of Forbes, talking about the LGBTQ merch that is available for everyone to purchase. It is fantastic. We have some notes about it in here too, but the quote that is pulled out is, "This is the second year in a row that Wizards of the Coast has run a limited fundraiser with Lambert House, but its considerable efforts to encourage a diverse audience predate that." And that is very true, but we are excited about all of the fun folks who are now have, you know, the D&D ampersand and a rainbow logo that's available in many different types of merchandise. Some of them were just shown there on the screen, but there's also, gosh, there's so many to note. There's a tote, there is a cotton tote, there's a tank top, there is all type of stuff. There's a banner. We actually have it on display in the other studio, you know, behind me. Like, you know where that is. I'm just being like, oh, there it is, right there. But it is right there. That we put in one of the frames. It's awesome, and want more people to check it out. And as Merciful DM just noted, there's a duffel bag and a blanket. I almost put those together. A duffel blanket. A Duffel Brothers blanket made of bags. I don't know. It's it's awesome. A duffel bag. Check it out. For BNAA UK, Lambert House is a charity program local to the Seattle area that reaches out to LGBTQ youth. So there's people under 18 who identify as any of those groups, and offer support and help for them in that hard time when it may sometimes feel like there is no support for them. So that's what Lambert House does here in the Seattle area. They're expanding out into other counties around the Seattle area, and they're a great kind of program, and we're hoping to support them more and more as the years go on. But that's that. Man, I am full of flubs. That's the word. I can't even say it. I'm full of flubs today. I think that's because Pelham is gone. I'm not blaming on that. One other fun bit of news that I'm sure most of you already knew, but I wanted to highlight here because it is pretty dang amazing. This is from IGN. Critical Role cast members reflect on record-breaking Kickstarter campaign, breaking the records. Beyond its storytelling opportunities, though, this animated series that was the subject of the Kickstarter have crystallized the relationship the Critical Role team has with its fans, and that is definitely very true. They raised more than $11 million for an animated series set or using the story of Critical Role. I think they're going to use their first arc, if I'm not mistaken. So that's pretty awesome. Can't wait. I applaud and give thumbs up to everyone there on the Critical Role team. I'm excited that many of them are coming to D&D Live, The Descent. So we were able to announce that on Friday. Very fantastic stuff. Matthew Mercer will be there as a player. He won't be a Dungeon Master this time around. Taliesin Jaffe will be there as a player. Not sure what either of those two are playing quite yet. We're still trying to figure out what makes the most sense. We might have them do something that has to do with the story that we're announcing, or use one of their characters that they've played on Critical Role in the past. I don't know. What do you guys think? Who would you rather have Taliesin Jaffe play? I guess he's the only one that's really a choice there, as Matt's characters are many in his Dungeon Masterdom. But one thing that's also really cool is that Marisha Ray is going to be a Dungeon Master during D&D Live, The Descent. That's going to be fantastic. She's a wonderful storyteller. I've seen her do tons of stuff, but as well as doing the Honey Heist specials that they've done on Critical Role in the past. We are giving her an amazing story to tell with a pretty darn great group of folks. So I can't wait to see that and see the storytelling that comes from the brain of Marisha Ray on Saturday during The Descent. So we'll be sure to check that out. That seems like as good a transition as ever to talk more about D&D Live 2019, The Descent. In case you're unaware, that is an event that I've been working on like crazy. It is in May 17th, 18th, and 19th in Los Angeles at Line 204 Studios. This place is not a convention area. It is a studio that is rented out by all kinds of different brands and production companies to produce stuff. We like using venues like this because it's a blank slate that we can paint with the story that we are going to announce on May 17th, starting at 4 p.m. Pacific time. Watch here on twitch.tv/DND for that announcement. We'll have the storytellers that you know and love from the D&D brand, including Kate Welch, Jeremy Crawford, Chris Perkins, Mike Merles, discussing the new storyline, what it's all about, why you should be excited about it, as well as a few other surprises, announcements that relate to the story, but also just relate to the awesomeness that is Dungeons & Dragons. Before we get into some live Dungeons & Dragons play, the cast that we have assembled for that storyline, which we're calling The Descent, during this event. So that's going to be a Friday night show and a Saturday night show. It's actually going to be 4 sessions of D&D that will be dungeon mastered by 4 different dungeon masters. Kate Welch, Jeremy Crawford, Chris Perkins, and Marisha Ray, as I mentioned. Those will have kind of discrete casts, but there'll be some flows in between them. I'm not going to give you any more than that, but that's going to be pretty exciting for Friday night and Saturday night. Then on Saturday, during the day, people who are able to get a badge to come all 3 days to D&D Live, they will be able to play Dungeons & Dragons in a special event called a D&D Epic. And if you're interested in finding out more about the D&D Epic, I suggest you tune in on Friday at 11 a.m. Pacific time here on the D&D Twitch channel to hear from an amazing person who is in the chat right now. So I have to call her. It's not added to the dang thing. But I believe it is the Adventurers League Wanted? Adventurers Wanted. That's it. I remembered it, Lisa. Don't be mad at me. That's this Friday at 11 a.m. And they will be going into all about what makes a D&D Epic possible. So that should be pretty darn cool. But for those of you who want to get the shorter version of that, it is 20 tables of people playing Dungeons & Dragons with 20 different dungeon masters. But there is an uber dungeon master that is running the entire room, and everybody who's playing in that room together has a meta goal that will be doing some amazing stuff. There'll be costumes, there'll be lights, there'll be sounds, there'll be individual NPCs, costumed NPCs that will be giving speeches that will affect the entire room, choices that can be made. So it's very exciting, kind of this visceral experience that you'll only be able to get at D&D Live. That will be occurring on Saturday during the day, 2 sessions of that, and then 1 on Sunday. While that's all happening in one studio, in the other studio, there's going to be 4 mini studios similar to this room in here, with people playing Dungeons & Dragons live on stream, recording all type of amazing content. I promised myself I wouldn't use the word content when describing what's happening with D&D Live, but it's kind of hard to use another word. There is no other word really for it. But there's going to be 4 studios streaming stuff live all during the day on Saturday and Sunday, which is going to be fantastic. We've announced tons of great groups. I can't list them all here. There's just too many. So go to dnd.wizards.com/DND Live 2019 for a listing of all those groups. There's going to be podcasters, streamers you know and love, including some YouTubers, people who talk and create videos discussing Dungeons & Dragons are going to be part of that as well. It's going to be fantastic. You'll have a lot to watch both during that weekend as well as catching up from all the stuff that you've missed. We're going to have ways for people to watch what's happening on all 4 of those channels and then kind of switch between, I believe. But there'll also be ways to watch some of that content, throughout. I used it the dang word content again, but use them that way as much as possible too. So fantastic stuff. And then on Saturday night, we're going to congregate again in the West Stage to hear, find the conclusion of the D&D story that began on Friday night. Then on Sunday night, there's going to be a live music rock band performance. Many different groups, many different people from the D&D community will be performing live on that same stage. Some of those bands include the Mountain Goats, which is fantastic. Can't wait to see John Darnielle again. He was fantastic when he was here in the Wizard office, and I'm excited to catch back up again with him. The Magic Sword is going to be there. They're an amazing, I guess you'd call it like an EDM slash techno band, fantasy themed. They're going to be closing out the night. Cardioid is a band that is going to be a house band throughout there. There'll be tons of folks. Jason Charles Miller from Sirens of the Realms, La Library Bards. They'll be performing a few songs. And there's a couple other special things. I don't know if I want to definitely spoil it right now, but you might see some people from the Dice Camera Action cast play a little tune or sing a little song. And it might be a song you might even recognize from Dice Camera Action. So that's pretty exciting, and I can't wait for you to jump in and see it on Sunday night. Now, I know there's another fantasy property out there that's doing a thing Sunday, May 19th. I know those of you on the West Coast, you'll be fine watching this performance, this rock performance, because it's going to be from 5 p.m. Pacific time to around 8 p.m. Pacific time. But I know those of you on the East Coast who are fans of that property may not, watch D&D live, actually live. That's fine. Totally get it. If I was in your shoes, I'd have a hard, decision to make there too. But check it out, nonetheless, if you are on the West Coast or somewhere else in the world watching all of the fun stuff. Speaking of people in the world, we have the High Rollers coming from the UK, which is fantastic. Mark Humes and that whole crew will be playing in one of the studio pods. And the Dragon Friends are returning from Australia to Los Angeles for D&D Live 2019, The Descent. They will be performing live from one of those pods as well, which is super cool. Can't wait for that. So check them out. We are all over town. There are still, here, let me actually refresh and find out if that's true. There are still badges available for D&D Live 2019, The Descent. The 3-day badges there get you access to basically everything that I just described to you. So check out, as I said, dnd.wizards.com to find, / D&D Live 2019 to find out where you can get badges. It's going to be fantastic. There's more in store for those who are there in person, including cosplay storyline that you'll be able to interact with and play D&D with. There's going to be a vendor area that will all be in world for the adventure that we're going to be announcing. There's more than 14 vendors signed up for that. You'll be able to purchase stuff from folks like Death Saves, Beetle and Grimm's Pandemonium Warehouse, WizKids, Han Cholo, Roll20 will be there, Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms will be there, For Fans by Fans, Wormwood Gaming, and I know I'm forgetting a whole bunch of folks. Ludia from Warriors of Waterdeep, they will also be there. Who else? The Dungeon Masters Guild are going to be there, showing off all that they've got in live. So check it out. It's going to be fantastic. Fantasy Grounds, Doug Davison and Fantasy Grounds will also be there. Thank you for reminding me. BNAA UK. Is that how you pronounce that? Do you say all the letters? I don't know, but you can. It's going to be cool. You'll also be able to see Devin and Dustin from D4 in costume, making things happen, making the costumes happen. It's going to be fantastic. Bana, UK. All right, you're good. You're good. I love it. Let me get to something that I like to call D&D Rewind, because that's what it's called, so that you can check it out. This is this week's D&D Rewind. We are going to play it right about now.
We just hear him making some struggling noises, and then he's like, there we go, here. And when you turn around, he's holding a folded piece of paper, like parchment that's been folded kind of as small as he can get it, and he's holding it in his hand.
Where was that?
And he walks over to Rin, and he puts it out.
All right. Right. She takes between two.
Jewel has clothes on. Let her take it.
Very,
Okay, all right. So Rin,
very gingerly.
yeah, you take it. It's kind of warm. And he says it's a map of level 3. It's all yours. I'm done with this terrible place.
Okay. I would like to cast suggestion on Thaddeus.
Okay.
which is a wisdom saving throw.
Vasily, we just talked about Zeus.
Ooh, I actually rolled really well. Hold on.
Vasily does not respect boundaries.
I don't think Thaddeus respects boundaries either. He was all up in Fargus's business.
This isn't about Thaddeus. This
is about you.
We just talked about this.
I rolled really well, but I have -1 wisdom, so it's 17. It still beats it. Dang it.
We're out here being nerds now, and our brand of socially awkward is frankly much more entertaining. And for that, I couldn't agree more. D&D Selfie is there to remind folks that D&D doesn't look like pocket protector-clad nerds from the 80s. It certainly does not. And I think the D&D Selfie movement should continue. So those of you out there, make it be a thing. It is amazing, and I want more and more out there.
After Feather was like, you can do this, I kind of like look at her, and I just kind of like nod. And as I swing with my normal weapon, and as I'm swinging with that and I miss, I put all my strength and heart into summoning my spiritual weapon. And as it forms and takes the second swing, you see like these leaves kind of trail off. And through the motion of the swing, it hits the amulet. And I look at her and I say, "You're going to be okay. We're here for you."
And as you land that final blow, you are momentarily drowned in darkness.
Paulton have some sense of how deep this water was?
Well, no, not really. He hasn't spent many time in Deepwater Bay, certainly not in the bay, this far down in the bay. So, 500 feet it is. Simon holds you tightly as you bamf straight up. And you are now 400 feet up in the air.
How can we not see through 100 feet?
That's me. I forgot to tell the amazing Steve Sprinkles, who edits those D&D rewinds, to not include me. I always feel it's weird to have the D&D news on the D&D news. That's a little picture of Matt going on a journey beyond sight and sound. He's left Crate. He's entered the demilitarized zone. Sorry, I listened to way too much Good Morning Vietnam soundtracks listens in my time. But it is wonderful to see all those amazing things happen in D&D Rewind. I really enjoy that little snippet of seeing all the different shows and what they can do. Hopefully you find a show that you might want to jump in and learn more about. Sad that Broken Pact and the Tales from the Mists have concluded their seasons, but who knows? Maybe there's more seasons on the way. You may see them at some point in the future. Good times to be had by all. If you would like or to nominate or perhaps get a part of Dungeons & Dragons Twitchness into D&D Rewind, the best way to do that is to create a clip in the Twitch interface. There's simple tools for that you can do that. You create that clip, share it out on the social meds. The social meds is always a good way to get more views on that clip. The more views that are on that clip, the ones rise to the cream of the crop, and then Steve Sprinkles can just take his little scooter, get the cream, and then bake it into a pie, and that pie is the D&D Rewind video that you just saw. So that's the way to do it. If you can, I suggest there is tons of other great shows and things out there, so please make those clips happen, and that's how you do it. One thing that I want to show... Am I quieter now? Is that what someone said? Am I quieter? Here, how's that? Is that better? I don't know. I don't know if that's better or not. Let's talk about some Adventurers League stuff, because that is always the funzos. First, I have to get to that part of the document before I can talk about what's happening in all of that world. So, D&D Adventurers League is D&D's official play campaign, which means that you can create an Adventurers League character and take them to your friendly local game store, a convention, a charity event, in the center of the Earth, on the surface of Mars. You can play an Adventurers League game anywhere you'd like. Of course, some of those most common areas are in friendly local game stores or conventions. But it's a fantastic way to jump in. In fact, I just did a radio show interview touting the wonders of Adventurers League for new players and how they might want to join what's happening in the amazing hobby of Dungeons & Dragons. And I want to make sure everyone know and reiterate that this Friday at 11 a.m. Pacific Time is the show Adventurers Wanted, the D&D Adventurers League monthly talk show that's co-hosted by Lisa Chen and Greg Marks, and they will be chatting with the D&D designer Will Doyle, who has written many of the Adventurers League's beloved epic adventures. So those attending D&D Live will have the opportunity to play in an AL epic. And so if you don't know what that is, as I was talking about earlier on in this D&D news segment, you should watch Adventurers Wanted to make sure you get the skinny on all of that. I've always been fascinated with the idea of D&D epics. I'm really excited to be able to exhibit one of them at D&D Live. But the work of making those happen is substantial and creates a totally different style of play to design D&D adventures for than typical adventures you might see in the Dungeon Masters Guild or even purchase from us. It's a totally different animal to a certain extent. So it's really kind of interesting to hear what a designer looks for and chooses in that iteration process about creating a D&D epic. So make sure you watch at 11 a.m. on Friday, Adventurers Wanted, and pick the brain of Will Doyle here on twitch.tv/DND. Directly after that show, Adventurers Wanted, I will be back in your eye holes talking Dragonly, doing Dragon Talk with Shelly. Shelly Mazanoble has returned. She was back last Friday, and we recorded an amazing episode that we will be releasing on the RSS feed for Dragon Talk this Thursday. But on Friday, we'll record a new episode. And I don't even want to hint at who's going to be joining. Do I? Do I want to hint at it? What do you think? Do you think I should? I feel like I should. But first I have to make sure I'm not going to get it wrong. Oh no. Who is it going to be? Let's see. It's going to be someone cool. I know it is. I'm just waiting to let you know who it's going to be. Oh no, they sorted by date here. Wait, I know who it is. I don't think I've seen him in chat. But we will be speaking to Eugenio Vargas, an amazing dungeon master, sometimes known as DM Jazzy Hands, for the Last Rites podcast, I believe it's called. Now I'm getting that wrong. I think I might have just messed that up. But it is fantastic. He's a great friend and a musical director. I've seen his work in here in Seattle. Wonderful actor and performer as well as storyteller, and I can't wait. Last Refuge. Thank you, Wild Rose Mage. I was like, it's a last something. I have the several pieces of swag from the Last Refuge podcast, and I'm a terrible person because I can hold a lot of things in my brain. I just can't hold everything in my brain at once, and that's why I depend on the amazing folks in chat to remind me of all the fun stuff. So I can't wait. I don't think Shelly has met Eugenio in... Oh, that's not true. We met at Origins in... last year? Was that last year? Yeah. So we have met all in the flesh, and I can't wait to meet over the electronic waves on Friday. So look for that. And we may be recording a Laurie Should Know or a Sage Advice or a random character generator on Friday, but honestly we have a few in the can already from my long conversation with Chris Perkins that we did last Friday. So I might take that hour back is what I'm trying to say, and get some work done on D&D Live. So that's it. That's what's happening on Friday for the Dragon Talks. And yes, we will be talking in Draconic specifically. So I got sidetracked there talking about what's happening this Friday without closing out what's happening in the Adventurers League. So we always like to highlight different parts of the world or area who are playing Adventurers League. And this one comes from Copenhagen, Denmark. Check out this picture of all the people playing Dungeons & Dragons. Here's the note that they sent along. On Saturday, March 23rd, about 70 excited players, DMs, and admins dug into a specific adventure, Stardock Under Siege, across 11 tables. 2 of those played in English. Great fun, fantastic battles, and lots of fun. The event was held at the IT University of Copenhagen and was arranged by D&D Adventurers League Denmark, a non-profit organization working on spreading knowledge of an Adventurers League, setting up all over Denmark in stores, libraries, and community centers. We serve almost 700 registered players through www. Oh my gosh, I feel like I'm a very old person by saying www like that, but .dnd-al.dk. It's in Danish, yet easily translatable through Google if you are interested, serving close to at least 1 game every day, either tabletop or online. In the photo, admin and general, Anders, is painting the picture of the Nautiloid floating in space, releasing its boar worm landing ships on Stardock. Very interesting to see people playing Dungeons & Dragons in different countries, in different areas. That looked like a lot of fun, and thank you so much to D&D Adventurers League Denmark for sending in that photo. And if you would like to get a photo of your Adventurers League event, you can email it to community@dndadventurersleague.org and put a group shout out in there and I'll read it to you here on the D&D News. You can include a blurb with your friendly local game store, state or country, or whatever information you feel like sharing, and I'll make sure people know about it. So make it happen. Yes, Anxious Narwhal, there was a lot of natural light in that room. That was what was really kind of amazing about it. It was just like, it felt like just such a beautiful, airy place to play Dungeons & Dragons in. I totally dug it. Good call. Some other fun stuff that's happening in the Dungeon Masters Guild. So what is the Dungeon Masters Guild? Well, let me tell you. It is what lets you publish your Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition creations for fun and profits. It's the only platform where you can publish adventures and supplements with the Forgotten Realms, Ravnica, other wizard settings, heroes, and more. Oh, heroes. I didn't see that added in there before. There are 2 awesome Dungeon Masters Guild titles that I want to spotlight. This is the first one, Artifacts of the Guild. This is the DM's Guild community collaboration. It's a community project that adds 260 new magic items to your D&D game. Collaboration of 58 authors, including Emmett Byrne, James Introcaso, Jackie Leong, Ashley Warren, hi Ashley, Molly Meadows, and just so many more best-selling creators and new talent. Some of the clue items in there include Baldur's Gatehouse, Fey-Touched Summoning Egg, and Blades of the Archrogue. Look out for the print-on-demand version coming soon. Very cool stuff. The next one I want to show you is Twisted Mithril Cart Combat. Ooh, I saw this coming out and was excited to learn more. It is by Erf Jordan, or ERF Jordan, and it's a comprehensive guide to cart combat. Cart combat. This 45-page illustrated title leads you through building your own carts, smashing cart combat, as well as providing a variety of feats, spells, subclasses, and magic items for your vehicular campaigns. Twisted Mithril includes guides to building, repairing, modifying, buying, selling carts, and 64 unique cart components, allowing for, this is the technical term, bajillions of combinations. That's super cool, and I just got the joke on the name there as Twisted Metal. Of course, Twisted Metal is the the old PlayStation game where it had the different cars jumping, combat together, and that's Twisted Mithril. That makes sense. And did someone just point out who is actually the one who made that in here in the chat? Is that a certain person from a certain partner of ours? It could be. That's pretty cool too. I love it. So I dig it, and you should check it out if you can. So I feel like I'm running out of time already. Of course, I did start late, so I've only got myself to blame. But here is something that I want everyone to know about. Acquisitions Incorporated is a book that is coming from Wizards of the Coast, Dungeons & Dragons. It's got 224 pages. This is the cover. It provides dungeon masters and players with tons of options to make their game feel just like the Acquisitions Incorporated fun stuff you've seen on the stages of PAX for the last decade. It is written by Jerry Holkins, as well as some awesome people, one of which I know is in the chat right now, Mr. Alpha Stream himself, Teo Abadeo. Yeah, you know, Teos. He is making wonderful stuff in there, and you should check it out when it releases on June 18th. I know, sorry, I messed up your last name, man. That's my bad. Oh, no, stop that. This is the day of flubs. I apologize. But again, it's out on June 18th. D&D Beyond, Roll20, everywhere you would purchase it. You can also pre-order it on the Penny Arcade site. I don't know if this offer is still valid, but if you did, it will be fantastic. There's also amazing authors' work on there. Sean Merwin, as well as Scott Fitzgerald Gray, and amazing work from Alyssa Grant as well, producing that book and keeping it all together in her head from Penny Arcade. So look for that. There is also, of course, this book on the horizon, Ghosts of Saltmarsh. Wait a second. I don't need to show you that cover. You know why? I can show you the actual book. It's right here in book form. Check it out. Oh man, do I want to show you all of these things? Oh my God, I like that piece of art very much. That's a frilly guy. There's nothing quite like that new book smell. Oh my gosh, I'm spoiling everything. There's a map there for you. Here, let me see if I can get to something that looks really cool. Ooh, check out that piece of art. Chapter 8, The Styes. I love it. Here, let me get to, I wonder if there's a flump in here. I think there is actually, but I don't want anyone to know about it. Oh, there's a juvenile Kraken. That's good to know. Yes, sure. Whoa, God, that guy looks really creepy. Oh, man. Don't look at that directly in the face. Whew. Man, sorry. I had to give a few little tastes to those of you who are now. I know, I'm totally spoilers and swagging it. We also have this copy right here, too. Check this out. This is the alternative. I don't know if you guys have seen the back, really, of this. This has got a scuff-free finish, so it's a little bit different. I've been saying it's similar to the Volo's Guide and Mordenkainen's Tome of Foes special covers, but it's not. It's actually better because that means you can scratch it and it won't leave marks. Oh yeah. I'm just gonna keep scratching that. There's nothing weird about that. It doesn't feel like a nails on a chalkboard. Not at all. I didn't even realize this, but there's these terrible looking tentacle type things here. Ooh, I love it. So check it out if you can. Ooh, God, that's got now my finger juices on it. But other than that, it looks fantabulous. Some other fun stuff that I just got on my desk today. What do you guys think this is, just on first glance? This is the Rick and Morty versus Dungeons and Dragons box set. I didn't even know this was coming out. I literally just found out about this, but it's not the hardcover, as someone is saying right in there. It is a box set with all four of the volumes in their own little booklet, and it goes in here like in a slip cover, like that. Crazy, right? So this is available, I believe, right now on the IDW website. It should be up tomorrow on Amazon. So it's got again all of the volumes of the 4 issues, and now I'm actually trying to figure it out because there's 4 booklets in here. So what is the 4th book? So there's issue 1. Here's issue 3. I'm going backwards in time. Here's issue 2. Here's issue 1. Wait, didn't I already do an issue 1? Here's issue 4. So I think someone actually just stuffed in an extra issue 1. Or maybe it's just an alternate cover to issue 1. See, I like finding this all out in real time with you guys. This is fascinating content, is it not? You guys know what's up. Yeah, so it's just a different cover. One has got a filled-in character sheet on the cover with Little Rick there, and then this one is a blank character sheet. So maybe that's the shtick. I keep on trying to get this in a way so it doesn't glare too much so you guys can see it. But it's got a blank character sheet, so maybe that's the shtick, is that you can jump in there. And then here's the kind of slipcover bit of this. So this is all available, as I said, on the IDW website right now, but it will be available on Amazon tomorrow, is what I was told. So take a look. It's in a book, Rick and Morty versus Dungeons and Dragons. This is a great series for those of you who are D&D fans as well as Rick and Morty fans. This is what it looks like with plastic on it. The all-important plastic shot. This is it. This is it in all of its glory. Good stuff. Oh, perhaps I should have just read what it says in the back cover, which is what this sheet is. See, I thought, okay. The back cover says, this set includes all 4 issues of the Rick and Morty vs. Dungeons & Dragons miniseries, all with exclusive character sheet covers only available in this box set, plus a bonus sketch variant of number 1, perfect for conventions or in-store signings. Oh, that makes sense. That means it's all blank, so you can get it signed in there. You know what? I got something for you. So, if you were to purchase this, and get this thing for perfect for signings, you could bring it to D&D Live, where you could get it signed by Jim Zub and Patrick Rothfuss live in the flesh. Get it signed by the 2 writers. I wish Troy Little, the artist, was going to be there too. You get it from him at other conventions, but that's a great way to get 2 of the most perfect signatures that you could ever want on that. It's fantastic. So check it out if you can. Yes, Patrick Rothfuss will be at D&D Live 2019. It's going to be pretty badass. So, lots of fun. I think I'm done, you guys. I finished my coffee. I'm all hyped up. We are going to get ready for Dice Camera action. The next episode is coming at you very soon. I'm going to give some time. We are Pelhamless, as I said, for this next episode. So I want to make sure there's enough time to kind of transition easily into that. Pelham is homesick. Hopefully he's doing okay. And I want to give one quick shout out to a friend of mine. I don't get to do this very often, but I'll give a shout out to Pelham. I hope you get better, Pelham, as well as Phil Langlois from Dudley, Massachusetts. He's not doing too well. He's in the UMass ICU, but our heart goes out to him. Hope everything recovers quickly and all of his loved ones get to roll dice with him one more time at the very least. So that's fantastic. Hopefully everything comes out good. And we will end this D&D news with excitement and everyone jumping for joy at what's going to happen in Dice Camera action. The Waffle Crew will be joined by Amy T. Falcone from the C Team. Walnut Dangrass herself is going to be here, so check it out. That'll be starting in just about 4 minutes. You guys are fantastic. You can follow me at Greg Tito on Twitter, Greg_Tito for the Instagrams. Otherwise, I will see you guys on Friday for Dragon Talk. See you later. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.